Recording started.
Well, good afternoon, and my name is Xenos, and I manage the Academic Alliance program for Juniper Networks. And I'm just here to give you an update on some of the things we're doing, how we see our engagement with academia, and how we see this partnership expanding mind share for us in the market and employable skills for the students that are coming through your organizations. So I have just a short agenda. We did a survey on our certification, which has been revamped over the last year and a half, and so it's kind of interesting to see how it's falling into alignment with industry standards and also falling into alignment with the requirements that industry has and our own requirements as well. So another thing I'm going to touch on a little bit who we are and how we get into the market. Academic Alliance, what we're doing and how we engage in partnership with the education community, and a little bit about Juniper and some of the interesting things that are happening there. So we'll jump right into that. So we did a certification survey this year. We surveyed about 7,000 certified customers, partners, and employees, and the purpose was to have them describe what kind of results they realized from going through the certification, the Juniper certification process. So the objective really was to identify the benefits and the value that the customers and partners felt they currently gained from our certification program, and also to start getting some feedback as well from those who are out there using it in real life, so we can value add to it. I'm not going to touch on that too much here because that's a ongoing work in progress and feedback for us, but I will talk a little bit about the value that the customers and those who have gotten certified feel to this point. So the results are interesting, and just to say that all we touched employees, partners, customers, prospective customers, and students who participated in the survey, and so we consider those all our key audiences. And we also touched the various different geographies that, as a global player in this market, it's important to get feedback from all regions. And so, as you can see, the feedback from the geos was it's pretty equal, a little balanced here and there. We got some additional responses from Asia Pacific this time, and the customers played and our partners played a large part in the influence and the feedback that we got from this survey. So. What the participants realized was that they got an increased skill set, and it made them better at their jobs. That's great from a certification point of view. That's what you're trying to achieve. A broader understanding of and ability to work with Juniper products, once again, really good. And over 40% improved performance. Now that's really super for us because it starts to show how the changes that we made in our certification program start to link directly to results that they get in their jobs and their day-to-day activities. And from our viewpoint internally and our partners, we were able to provide over 30% more efficient support services, which gives us happier customers, and improved the quality and effectiveness of implementations, which of course leads to better performance in sales and other activities. So what are the benefits that were realized? So key benefits of recognition in the networking world, that's great. Market perception is very important. Improving actual skills in troubleshooting, extended knowledge of networking equipment, and interestingly enough, the knowledge I gained in exam preparation, which is interesting because it means that perhaps they learned stuff that they didn't think they didn't know. And so you can start to look at some of the second layer things there. That for us is also very good from a mind share point of view. So we're excited about that. The consistent message across the board, and the exciting thing here is that the primary value when seeking Juniper network certifications and the benefits realized match. Increased skills and increased job opportunities. So that makes for very happy certified individuals who find it useful in the arena that they're working in. Nicely again, the managers who rated these were those are the two highest reasons for encouraging their own employees to get certified. So here we have, from an employer point of view, our certification program, which validates the training activities that we do, it shows that there's a validity in the employment sector, and also the individuals that are undergoing this are happy to realize what they think they needed to know. So our JNCP certification is our professional certification, which is the one below the expert level certification, and we have 4 layers, which I will talk to in a little bit. So it was ranked as the second most valuable IT certification in the market. We won't mention what the other one is because I can't do that. However, interestingly enough, and increased, 33% of respondents ranked the JNCP certification most valuable. So that's very exciting for us, and it also again shows how our penetration in the market starts to make a difference in the requirements for students that are coming into the marketplace. 49% of the respondents thought that their Juniper certification was more valuable than other IT certifications, and that's up 5% from last year. So once again, you start to see how these alignment things and our position in providing an employable resource starts to take hold. And so our takeaways again, we got good feedback from our certified customers, partners, and employees. There's value in what they're achieving with it. We're very happy about the way we have realigned our certification program. It matches our training, it matches the requirements in the industry, and as we engage with the education arena, it also matches, it gives you a great foundation to be able to use the resources we provide to academia to support that business requirement. We have some challenges, and it's growing challenges, obviously, as a smaller, quote-unquote, smaller player in the market, although leader in certain sectors. Market awareness is still growing for us. We internally will look to increase the benefits of those who are certified and make that more valuable for them, and then look at other ways that we can enable people to be certified. And one of those, of course, is through our Academic Alliance channel. Now, talking about market or awareness in the market, so I was at EDUCAUSE in October, and we still have, even though we are a leader in certain areas and our large customers know who we are, we still have people come up and say, well, who is Juniper Networks? Which, for where we are in the market, that's kind of an interesting question. So certification certainly plays a part of that. Increased mind share through various academic channels and training channels is a very important part of that as well. We need engineers out there, and we need them to support the various activities that we do in the market, both from an installation, integration point of view, as well as a service and support point of view as well. So let's talk about a couple slides on who is Juniper Networks. Some of you have seen these buildings if you live in this area. That's our headquarters down in Sunnyvale, and we're located down off of Matilda and 101. It's always nice to put a couple pictures to a face, so to speak. But as a company, we have been engaging in innovative and disruptive technologies. We've been doing that since 1996, and as you can see, we're engaged with the top in the top 100 service provider arenas, the Fortune 100 enterprises, public sector, DoD. We've won a number of awards over the years, and we're about a $4 billion company. We have roughly 8,000 people. And interestingly enough, we have invested about a third of our revenues into research and development. That has proven to be very interesting from the innovation and the technological advances that we provide to the market, and the most recent of which is QFabric, which you may or may not have heard of. I'll touch on it in a little bit. Very exciting. Our mission is to connect everything and empower everyone, and everything we do does that. So we design the silicon and build it. We write the software that matches to it and runs on it, and then we build a system to integrate to make this a very powerful, integrated networking environment for our customers, be they the service providers to some of the smaller industry players. So we've had over a decade of innovation now. The company was founded in 1996, and one of our first big plays, if you will, or disruptive technologies was separating the control plane and the data plane, which made a significant difference in the speed. Data speed transfers, very interesting for the service providers and other heavy data carriers. A lot of different things through acquisitions and enhancing our technology. Then we acquired NetScreen and integrated some of those capabilities into our security functionality. We continue to build the MX series, the SRX series, changed the chipsets, the MX 3Ds, introduced virtual environments and network layer environments that I'll talk to in a little bit. Again, first in the industry in the way we open those environments up for people to be able to change the actual network environment dynamically or at a request of a certain application. T4000, which was released in 2010. I always like to say, that is talking speeds and feeds that can transfer the entire content of YouTube in less than an hour. Again, very heavy data transfers, highly secure, and that has been our position in the market. So Trapeze, of course, brought wireless. This last year we had virtualization, and leading to our announcement towards the end of this last year of QFabric, which integrates a lot of this virtualized environment into creating an extremely efficient sort of one-hop transfer to just about any data center environment. And I'm not going to get into the details of that because it would go on for a long time, but there's a lot of information on the website, and we actually have information on our website as well if you're interested in that technology. For anybody who's going to be at Working Connections, one of my colleagues from the Dallas office will be doing a short workshop on that on Monday. And so if you happen to be at the Conversion Center, Working Connections conference, you'll get a chance to see a little bit more about that. I'm sure that will all be online and you can take advantage of it at that point. Most recently, we got pulled into or brought into the SC Magazine Hall of Fame, and with our VGW Virtual Gateway. And it's kind of fun. Getting into the Hall of Fame requires innovation, staying power, and demonstrated success. Last year, we inducted several companies into our inaugural Hall of Fame. This year, there's only one. But it's an interesting story because of the amalgam of two companies, both of which have over time demonstrated the characteristics of what we look for in the Hall of Fame candidates. This is just the most recent accolade that we've had. As you can see from the slide before, we've had a number over the years for various innovative and disruptive kind of technologies. So we are growing, and we're very excited about that growth that we have in the market. It's a fun time to be here, and we're getting more and more recognition in the market for the technology that we have and what it does for people. So out of this is born, among other things, the Academic Alliance, because we need to enable the students to understand the technology that's there and to give them the resources to be a productive member as an employed individual. So what drives those two things? The two unique propositions that we have that we kind of hang our hat on for the Academic Alliance. One is that we have a single network operating system. So the foundational technology, the learning that one can experience in a community college environment, self-learning, university, networking class, integrating that technology into somebody's foundational understanding provides a great foundation for the advanced networking learning that they may get later. So you don't have to relearn command line interfaces. You don't have to relearn all of that interface stuff. It's all there in the software. You just add functionality and add to that learning experience. It's really a super way to introduce students to a networking environment and know that as they transition through different boxes and different levels of certification or learning during their career, that they can build on that foundation. We support that with a current curriculum, and so again, anything from a foundational point of view can be built on. We have hands-on lab support and virtual lab environments for our Xenos programs. So it's all about technical training. That's the first unique proposition. The second one is that uniquely in the industry, we have a platform that is an excellent research vehicle. So that is, most of the networking environments are pretty protected and fixed, and our kernel is as well. That's one of the reasons we're employed in high-stakes government and DoD environments. However, there is a portion to that which allows researchers and others who would like to build applications to change the network in kind of a unique and special way that's needed for their requirements. From an academic point of view, it provides a great platform for a researcher who has an idea and would like to implement that in an industry recognized platform. So anything that a student could develop in an academic environment could be put into use commercially because that platform is already available out there. And so that's kind of an exciting and unusual offering for a networking company to provide that environment in its routers. Excuse me. We have 3 layers to this. We can write through the network layer, which means that one would actually write code right into a kind of like an app. You load it into the router itself, and that router will then behave differently based on certain requirements and parameters that are put in there. So that's one layer. That's the next layer up is the network layer application, or network application layer rather, and that's our Xenos space, and that is where you can write to the environment. So that environment could be an application where an application requires certain network resources, or the network to be configured in a certain way, or opened up for a certain period of time, for example. That can happen automatically by a certain application that has been written to interact with that. Makes it very, very powerful, and from a learning experience, makes it very interesting. Because if you take, you can now do cross-discipline learning. If you have, say, gamers that are aware of the network and aware of the capabilities of the interaction of that particular game to the network, and the networking guys are aware that the gamers are doing that, now you have opportunities to expand the knowledge base of somebody who would be traditionally in networks, and expand the knowledge base of somebody who is traditionally in some kind of application or gaming environment. So it really allows, from an education point of view, it allows the opportunity to expand everybody's knowledge and make them more productive in the industry. Not to mention that you get over things like a worst case scenario is that the network administrators are always trying to avoid or try to create to relate to. Okay, so they create a worst case scenario, and in fact, if you have a dynamic reconfiguration capability, now everybody's talking to everybody, and those things don't happen. More efficient uses of resources. And then our Xenos Pulse is our user application layer, and that would be, mobility devices. So basically anything that is sitting on your phone, your iPad, any kind of device that interacts with the capability. We actually have an SSL VPN client that sits on all of our own phones, whether they're iPhones or Androids or whatever. It gives us capabilities from everything from my phone, my desk phone, coming to my to my mobile phone, as well as any other resources that I would normally want to be able to access to. And that's all secure at the Genius Pulse layer. So it's really interesting. So those are the two unique propositions. And so that's kind of what we hang our hat on from the viewpoint of academia. Some of you who have seen previous models, this program is still very young, relatively speaking, and we have continued to develop and mature it. So we have what we call the iCare model now. And the iCare model is to include certified advanced research and explore. And the idea behind this is partnership with academia. We have a commercial training channel. It's out there, and it is involved with industry and the very high money, quick delivery, so on and so forth, kind of the traditional education partner model. This model here is how do we engage with academia, and a lot of what we do here is supposed to give back. So the program is very flexible. So here, the include allows you to add Juniper theoretical or hands-on technology into any course that you're providing already in your organization. So, as members, you have access to that, and it's not that you have to complete the course. You may integrate it in a joint vendor kind of a training environment. Really, again, if you look at the way we approach this, it's about the students. The students are going to see multi-vendor environments. They're going to see a variety of things out there. And if you can prepare them for that, they're going to be better engineers. They're going to be better administrators. They're going to be better support personnel, making better decisions in buying, and so on and so forth. So we provide that to you as part of the include. Certify is a little bit more formal, and in that case, we do focus delivering courses in a set module, and those modules lead to certifications. And I have a slide to that in a little bit. So, and these, by the way, are not exclusive. Right? You can do both of these things if you wish. Advanced, we started doing master's level degrees with certain universities. And I won't go too much into that right now, but this year we'll see some of those coming forth. So I'm taking the technology to the next level, incorporating a broader scope, more detailed knowledge, more extended knowledge, and Juniper technology included in that. Research, that's where the previous slide where I showed you there was different levels. We have a number of PhD researchers and university researchers that are interested in performing certain things and could choose to do the research on a Juniper platform as opposed to, for example, OpenFlow or some of the more kind of traditionally academic environments that are out there. However, having said that, Explore takes us to the next level because we also do support things like OpenFlow and some of the other purely academic research environments that are out there. And we have some interesting options for that as well. So under these 5 tiers, if you will, in the iCare model, we look to partner and engage with you in any way that makes sense for your particular learning organization. Traditionally, the community colleges will sit in the include and certify. There may be some interest in writing some application development if you have if you're giving courses in Java or C++, and we can have that conversation on a one individual basis. So as I said, it's an academic partnership, and our focus with it is to extend knowledge. We'd like to provide a challenging new technology to the students, and we really want to improve their employability. We want them to come out to be better workers and more prepared for the market. This, by the way, is also something that is very passionate for me, and I know that James talks to it regularly as well. We're about bridging the industry-academic knowledge gap. It's recognized, and some of the advisory work that he's done through MPIC has been very much about how do we integrate industry back into academia. So the students are now coming out and being productive members in society. So we're all about that. It's all about the students. To that end, we provide resources for them. We have Academic Alliance course books. We have online bookstores, so they can order them extremely inexpensively. There's a discount voucher program for certification, so you can enable your students to be certified. As Bill will attest, we really do try to work through all sorts of issues to make that happen. If your students have special issues, we can try and support you in that way as well. A little bit about the curriculum. So we have 3 certifications that we build this on. We have JNCI Junos, JNCIS, Enterprise, and Security. Those are the 3. The JNCI Junos is our foundational certification, and it leads to all the other ones. The specialist level in Enterprise and Security are 2 of the 3 sweet spots that we have. The third is Service Provider. And JNCI Junos also provides the foundation to go into the Service Provider track as well. We don't focus the Service Provider track in the Academic Alliance specifically, but understand that the foundation that you would give to your students at that point would be ready, would give them the road to then also advance in that arena as well. So these modules, there's a lot on this slide, but these modules give the hours over on the left-hand side, learning hours. They can also be delivered as courses in themselves as they are designed, and they build actually down. Ironically, it looks really weird to me now, but I used to have it up, and people would always start up and work down anyway. So just the fundamentals is up at the top, and then you just build the other ones on top of that. And you can see how the arrows take you there. So out of over the course of several semesters, you can have the students certified in 3 industry certifications, and that will get them much more prepared for the market and going out to be employed. And that can be in addition to certifications that they have already. As I said, our focus here is to extend the knowledge base, and to that end, we assume in some cases that the students may come in with a certain knowledge base, and we have online training courses that will allow us to augment that base and add to it with new technology and Juniper technology. And we provide course books and lab guides for that. Now you can see this inverted now, starting at the associate level, specialist, professional, and expert. And for the Academic Alliance, we focus in these 2 areas here. So the participation is at no cost to the learning institution. As I mentioned earlier, we are looking to partner. This is our give back to academia and our attempt to bridge that industry academia gap that is there. So we have no program fees. We provide free instructor training. We have excellent lab gear discounts for your college if they want to invest in gear, and we also have access to our virtual routers in the Juniper classroom environment. We provide free instructor guides, and the certification vouchers for your instructors are for free as well. And as I mentioned earlier, we have discounted vouchers for your students and an online assessment tool that allows them to see if they're even ready to take the test yet. So that's kind of exciting, and I think it's a really good way to be able to bring new technology to your students. Juniper Classroom is something we announced last year, and we continue to expand on that, and that is our routers in the cloud. And the routers in the cloud are, it's just an environment in a big data center, and so you can have virtual, actually VMware was talking about virtual instances of stuff, so you can imagine those virtual instances could be a router. And with a hypervisor environment, those things are available. Those can be accessed in your classroom, or they can be accessed remotely, or both. And we have built configurations that go on that support our classes and support the training objectives that you could use. Using these modules, or alternatively, build your own topologies to enable a networking class that you have created already or is already in your curriculum. And just to show how this has been used recently, Queen Mary University of London used Unisphere to simultaneously connect 250 virtual routers as part of a hands-on lab exercise during the networking course. And in this case, the students were both remote and locally on campus. Now, that's quite a lot of routers running at the same time. It's a huge network topology. All the students were interacting and doing different things, and it ended up being very, very successful. This is the second year that they've done this now, and we look to expand that. But this goes to show you're now not dealing with 4 to 8 routers in a classroom anymore. Here you have 250 working together in a very interesting network topology that provides a learning resource for the objective they're trying to enable. So I'm just going to share this with you, I hope. Am I? Yeah, okay, good. This, you can find this on YouTube.
We spend a lot of time, if you like, trying to anticipate what the future of the internet is going to look like, and trying to second guess that and make it even better. Queen Mary is a research-led institution, and all of our teaching programs are driven by our research profile.
Hands-on lab work is probably the best way to learn a networking course. Juniper really makes a huge difference to the way we lecture, because everybody will come and do a course in telecoms and they want to get their hands doing real practical work. It's much better than theoretical work, and that it gives the student a much better view of what a networking environment looks like.
Basically, Juniper is, for all intents and purposes, a real implementation of real kit. When my colleague Chris came to me with this proposal to talk to Juniper and to use Juniper, I just thought it made great business sense for us. Firstly, I would say Juniper provides a scalable architecture. It allows us to experiment with lots of students in a very efficient way.
Even though they're virtual routers, they're actually the same as their physical counterparts. I think the key things are flexibility, scalability, and ease of maintenance, and ease of procedure.
The existing facility, we have to have a room, we have to have air conditioning, electricity, and so forth. And that facility is tied up for all year. Whereas with Juniper, basically, it's there when we need it. The experience they get with it is awesome kind of open source thing that's a little bit kind of vague. It's something that's very much what they're looking in the industry.
When we talk about routing exercise and things like that in the lectures, that they get the concept, but you can tell them there's actually a real lab, a virtual lab for them to do the experiments and actually try out some of these routing protocols. It becomes something that they look forward to and actually pay more attention when you teach them.
That's just a short video of that that's up on YouTube, and we're very excited about that. There are other applications that we've had with that, but this is the biggest one that we've done to date in number of routers interacting. So I'm going to invite you to have a look at Juniper. And so we have what we call a demo day, and if you contact me, I can set you up with it, and you can get online we have a sort of a scripted part of it that shows you how it interacts with our training modules, as well as kind of a free play where you can get in and do some interesting things with it, set up configurations, and see what it does for you and how you might be able to integrate that in your own networking course or curriculum right now. So the other invitation I have is to join our growing academic alliance. We've doubled the number of academic alliance partners we've had in the last year. It's a global program. We're here in the U.S., EMEA. We just had our first one in Latin America this last month. This is very exciting. We have a number in Asia Pacific, and we continue to grow day after day. It's 3 simple steps. So you can express your interest, email to academicalliance@juniper.net. We have an application form. Currently it's something that I will send you, but shortly it will be online. And then we just have some academic alliance agreement terms, which if you've involved yourself with any industry partner, it should not be anything unusual. The program is extremely flexible. We are here to partner with you in providing additional learning resources for your students. And we hope that you will do that. So my contact information is at the top. We also have some contacts in Europe and Asia Pacific, but feel free to email me directly at Xenos@juniper.net or easily enough at academicalliance@juniper.net. And I can answer any questions that you like, and we look forward to participating with you if you feel it fits your academic and business need. And I don't know, Bill, do you want to make a comment? Bill just finished a class recently, and
we've been a member of the Academy for like 3 years. Since the day it started, and we finally reached critical mass where we had enough students to run a class. And we just finished that up a couple of weeks ago, and Nick, in fact, had a chance to talk to my class via Skype, so we had some fun. It was a good class. We had a great time. There were, we had the usual growing pains, but the students actually kind of preferred it because that was when we were really it didn't seem very scanned. It wasn't quite as, okay, this is structure, this is so we had kind of fun. We had one great exercise. I mean, I told Nick was involved with this one. When our routers were like 8 revs out of date. And we had the newest hardware. We had the hardware, but we were so badly out of date. And thank God for Mick helping out and then working with Sierra up here. Found out exactly what we needed, and I thought about, okay, we have to replace the flash cards. Okay, we got those. Here's the software, you can do that. And I figured out, okay, I can do this. And I did the first one. I'm like, wait a minute, why am I doing this? We got 9 routers to upgrade. This is a student project. So we grabbed the students, we de-racked them, spread them out over the tables. Students actually had their hands in the routers. They replaced it and upgraded it from all the versions, and it was just exciting. We did it over a period of about 2 weeks, and the students learned more about that, the inside, how they work, everything, how to do every one of my students knew how to upgrade Juniper. Version after version after version. We did like 4 in a row. So that was part of it. So we had a lot of fun doing it. I am really looking forward to Junisphere because obviously it's a much more flexible environment. And I know that once we get all the details about that, that's going to be great. I learned it. In fact, there are 3 of us in here that took the class this summer on Junisphere. So we got a lot out of that. So I enjoyed it. It's a great program. I would suggest if you're looking for an alternative or an addition to the other vendor, and by the way, it's a great addition to the other vendor because it does show the students that there is more to life, and that's more heterogeneous. The students got a lot out of it. I had 2 students go ahead and take the certification. Actually, we gave out 4 coupons. We gave them out. 2 that I know of took it and passed. In fact, I only knew of 1, Deal reported. Nick told me a second one actually passed. That's why I say 2 certified students right out of the class. So obviously, the course works. So I was really impressed. I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed teaching it. It was so different. I've never worked a course harder in my life. And more fun. So that's my time.
Thank you. Very cool. And by the way, router software upgrades are a little out of the scope of the course I was teaching normally, but that's the kind of value add, and we strongly encourage interaction between our academic alliance partners. Carrie was very helpful with that, and then you're going to help Mike later on. She does some changes on his. So we're all about communication. We're all about community, and building that team here. So that's kind of my presentation. I was about 5 minutes early, but I'm happy to answer any questions. And if you want to, if you're interested, or would like to see a demo day of the Junisphere classroom environment, I'd be happy to set that up for you.